1010XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you in. Thanks for joining us. The new drug today is 1 day later. 1 day later than the Liam presser. We also might have a pep rally coming around. Is that what they released? Is there word about that?
Yeah, how about that? A nice fan event Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock at the stadium. It's free. Just go register at Jaguars.com and get to meet Liam Coen.
Think we may be live down there. It's kind of what we do. Isn't
Sweet.
It? Kind of what we do.
That was great yesterday.
Well, that really was, and they set us up perfectly. And I really appreciate him coming by the way, right after. He answered a lot of media questions, many of whom from our 1010XL team, including you. And then other media questions. Got up right afterwards and walked right over and hung out at our set. So we really appreciate how accommodating he was yesterday. So I'm gonna look back now. 1 day later, what do people think? As we've had a chance to decompress a little bit, what's the word? And I also want to go around and look at some of the hires. Who did well? Who didn't? Which coaches will? You know what I mean? Hays, which coaches will do well? Which ones won't? Let's look at I
think the Cowboys are going to be towar's the bottom of our list.
Shotty's ready to go play?
Yeah, he might be ready to go play.
Okay.
But he's not ready to go coach.
But I can't call him anything else. I'm trying. I've tried. It just keeps coming back to Shotty's ready to go play. It's not my fault. Okay, yeah. I bear no responsibility.
By the way, have you seen the parody where it's like Jerry Jones at the press conference talking about hiring Brian Schottenheimer, but they've changed his voice to say, "Oh, it is so brilliant." I mean, it's you can't. You'll need to. It's adult material,
right? So we can't play it on the air.
Yes,
okay,
but it is so funny. Yeah, I had one for Brian Schottenheimer too that was pretty good. But the Jerry Jones one, I watched like 4 or 5 times and was crying. I was laughing so hard at it.
Do you feel better about Shotty's ready to go play? If I told you Matt Eberflus is coming with him,
no,
would that change your mind at all?
No, I think Dallas is in real trouble.
Yeah.
It starts with, by the way, your division has the NFC champion and the NFC's greatest rising talent in Jaden Daniels.
Other than that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the drought, as I'm using air quotes, will continue for the Dallas Cowboys.
So is Kellen Moore going to New Orleans? Is that what's going to happen?
It's so hard to say because that really is. That is really the rare job in the NFL where you have no chance. And it's nothing against the Saints. They are a fine organization and franchise, but they have pushed their cap so far down the road to try and stay competitive. And it is at a point where they've got to strip it and as best they can. So for about a 2 or 3 year window, barring basically a miracle, they are going to be one of, if not the least talented team in the NFL. And by the time they get pretty good, you're 3-4 years down the line. And will they have the patience for you? If you're a head coach that's won, 6 games in your first 2 years there. So that is a really, really tough job going into. But we'll see. So if I was Kellen Moore, I'd probably wait because you're in a pretty good situation. But
that's right.
But we'll see what ultimately he ends up doing. But yeah, I would think that's who New Orleans wants it to be. But I don't know that Kellen Moore will take that chance because boy, they are just. I think New Orleans is headed for. Like honestly, I would not be surprised if DJ Lagway is what he ends up becoming this great collegiate player. And goes like first overall in the 27 draft. Would not be surprised if he's a New Orleans Saint.
You think that's who he'll be picking around then, first around then. So all right, so we got so we'll certainly talk about the NFL a little bit coming. I want to talk about the Gator basketball. The Gator basketball team. We didn't get a chance to talk much about it yesterday because we had all the Liam stuff. They beat Georgia by 30. They've beat Tennessee and Georgia by 30. They've beat Texas by 24. These are legit programs. These are all programs that were ranked at one point, and Tennessee remains very good. But now, Hays, they face the toughest 4-game gauntlet of their season. At Tennessee, home against Vanderbilt, at Auburn, at Mississippi State. They're 5-2 in the league, 18-2 overall. I would say, and I think maybe you said this yesterday, 2-2. 2-2. You come back 2-2, and then who knows where your season's headed. Agree?
I do agree. Auburn's number one in every metric, both in the net rankings and in the AP poll, coaches poll. So, You're playing the number 1 team in their house. You're playing the number 4 team. Tennessee is 4th in the net. It's 17-3. So you're playing 1 on the road, 4 on the road. Mississippi State is 21st in the net. That's a road game. And then you do get Vanderbilt at home. Not a cupcake by any stretch, but they're 37th in the net. So good. Probably going to be in the tournament. They're on the right side of the bubble for now. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that's 4 losable games. I would think they would hold serve against Vandy and then win one of the 3 on the road.
Yeah, so if you do that, then you're probably in pretty good shape. So we'll certainly talk college basketball coming up later on. By the way, I want to get to this at one segment later on in the program as well. JU alone in first place in the A-Sun. You talked about it in headlines yesterday, but that's pretty good. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you're alone in first place.
Yeah, and we're pretty far into this thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so, I mean, they're
probably at the halfway point maybe of their conference.
Well, they're 7-1. That's 8 games. Yeah, probably about that. That's probably very close to it. And they play Gulf Coast, who's right behind them, on Wednesday night. So I would say tomorrow we'll be there tomorrow night, and then I would say Swisher will be rocking. Those students are back. I think that'll be a rocking place. And then JU and UNF on Saturday night, the first rumble. Hopefully UNF can kind of get it going a little bit. We certainly pull for both those teams, and hopefully that'll happen as the season moves along. But let's start with Liam Coen. We got a Duval County Scholar athlete, by the way, comes in about 10 minutes or so. But we've had time to decompress. We certainly talked about what we thought. What do you think the public thought, the local public, the national public, the Tampa Bay public, have they calmed down a little bit? What do you think the general perception, the general take after Liam Cohen's first press conference was?
I would say in reverse order, the Tampa Bay fans probably aren't over it, but who cares? I mean, honestly, at this point, I mean, again, if you're gonna be upset with a guy because he took a job that tripled his salary and made him his own boss, then to me that's on you. Nationally, I think he's being ridiculed because of the awkward moment in the press conference, which was funny because at the time I was like in the second row, but where the podium was kind of off to the side. So I wasn't looking at Liam when he was at the podium straight on. You know, it was from off to the side. And it was sort of in the middle of his speech. So it wasn't like this big planned moment where he was like answering a question or, something like that or closing a statement. It was sort of in the middle of a lengthy opening statement. And I didn't think, I mean, obviously you could tell he did it a little different. The video is not flattering. It doesn't do him any favors. So I think nationally it's been, hey, look at this idiot the Jaguars hired, which is obviously totally unfair, because, sometimes people in press conferences have odd moments. I mean, we go back to Campbell in Detroit, and obviously, they're doing great. So
the kneecap.
So yeah, right. So I think nationally that probably overshadowed anything that he tangibly said. But locally, I think everybody is over the moon for him. I mean, I think there's a lot of excitement, and it's not just that he is a young offensive-minded coach. It's that he really seems to understand the physical nature that you've got to play, and that this organization has not been playing at that level. He met with a group of local beat writers yesterday, and he said something that I thought was really interesting. He was asked about, a lack of edge here or establishing that edge here. And he said, I want my guys playing through the echo of the whistle. I mean the echo. He said, you might get a flag or two early on, but that's fine. We'll back off at that point. But he says, I want them playing on the edge. It's a violent game, and they have to be that way.
I want savages.
Yeah, so I think you have to love that because it was missing here. It just was. I mean, you don't often get as clear an example as your franchise quarterback getting cheap shotted 10 feet from your sideline in your home stadium. And Doug Peterson just completely handled it horribly. And, so I think it's one of those things that, and that's just one example, but it just over the last couple of years has not been a team that wins street fights at all. And now I have some hope that that will happen. It started with how Liam Coen was able to brilliantly orchestrate the removal of Trent Baalke as GM, because that showed me a killer competitive mindset that I think you've got to have to win at an elite level in the NFL. And now to hear him talk about the physical nature, talk about the trenches, yeah, I think I'm excited. But I think everybody's excited. I mean, I was one of the last ones on board because, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of NFL experience, but what he has shown in his actions and his words so far tells me not only will this be an offensive advanced scheme, modern football, as Shad Khan said yesterday, but I think they're going to have an edge, and that's dangerous.
When Steve Spurrier got the Florida job, everybody said if he wins, it'll be because he has a fancy passing game. Well, he won with a fancy passing game. The fun and gun, as Mike Bianchi termed it. They ran routes and did things in the passing game that people didn't know how to cover, and that was a big part of it. But I always said this. His teams were prepared, physical, in shape, played with that edge the whole time he was there. Tom Coughlin, when he got the job here, he was an offensive coach. He was an offensive-minded coach, and he came from Boston College, a team that nobody knew anything about other than the fact they upset Notre Dame in '93. That's the only thing anybody knew about them. But his teams played physical and with an edge and with a toughness about them. So when you get these offensive-minded coaches in, our first thought is, to your point now, our first thought is, well, they're going to have a fancy passing game. They're going to outpass people, and you're going to see guys running wide open because of the great play calling. And they're going to run and pass, and they're going to have balance because of the great play calling, right? Play calling, play calling, play calling. And that seems to be such a catchphrase in football this day. Play calling, play calling. Who's play calling? You calling the plays? Who's calling the plays? How's the play calling? Play calling. No, you're good because of good play calling. You're bad because of bad play calling. Well, the best coaches, I don't care if it's Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell in today's football, Steve Spurrier in yesterday's college football, Tom Coughlin back in the day. I don't care if it was Joe Gibbs. I don't care who it was. If you are you can be a good offensive mind, but if your team isn't tougher, plays with an edge, plays with a sense of urgency, you lose the games. That's reality. You lose. Bobby Bowden was as respected as anybody for all the gadgets, but his defenses with Mickey Andrews were tougher than anybody on your team, and that's how you win. So it'll be very interesting. A big part of that is the defensive coordinator, and they've already been through 3 or 4 interviews now.
Yeah.
They've posted the team site and the team X feed has posted a number of the defensive coordinators, so it'll be interesting to see who winds up there. They've certainly posted a number of those. So, but you're right about that.
I think that's smart too, real quick, because I think he's. My guess is, based on the resumes, it's probably going to be Patrick Graham. I don't know that, but what I like about it is use this opportunity to interview 6 to 8 really young, up and coming defensive coordinators. Because if it goes well, and Liam Coen is expecting it to go well, then you may not have Patrick Graham for very long. You may have to replace him if he gets a head coaching job. So this is really the only time as a head coach that you can go ahead and almost start your next interview cycle, if that makes sense. Look at guys that in 2 or 3 years might be, not to say these guys aren't ready now. Liam Coen may think they are. It may end up being one of these other guys that's not Patrick Graham. But Patrick Graham has been a defensive coordinator in 3 different stops. He's done it for 6 years. So he is very well versed in how you go about doing it. But my point is, Patrick Graham's also 46. He has his own aspirations. If it goes well and he gets a head coaching job, you want to be able to go back to those interviews that you conducted in years prior and be able to say, okay, this is what I like, this is what I didn't, even if you're going to bring the candidate in again, just to see the growth from one interview to the next. So I think really smart on Liam Cohen's part. And again, that's one that I'd interview some more. I mean, there's, if you get the hire done in the next few days, that's ample time. But I think it's really smart for him to utilize this opportunity to get to know a lot of the young defensive minds in the sport.
I have no idea who he's hiring. What I will tell you is the fact that he's brought in Patrick Graham, Aubrey Pleasant, Durante Jones, Anthony Campanile. I think I'm saying that right?
Yeah, Campanile.
And the fact that he's got those 4 he just got the job. I mean, his introductory press conference was yesterday, and the team has already announced the interviews of four defensive coordinator candidates. That tells me that it looks like that's first before offense. It certainly would appear that way. But it also tells me he's trying to strike quick there. If you've interviewed four coaches, you just got the job. So it looks like he's taking that very seriously. So I think that stands out to me. I'll be very interested talking to him a little bit after we had him on air yesterday. We were sitting out there on the veranda at the Miller Electric Center, and then after we go to a break, a 5 or 6 minute break with us. So I got to stand up. You were there, but we got to stand up and talk to him for a little while. And you can tell just the off the air and I'd never met him before. The first time I met Liam Coen was when I shook his hand when he sat down to do the interview. So I didn't know him at all, but you can tell, don't you think, how cerebral he is? The way I could tell just the way he's thinking through it. We talked about a few offensive line coaches, a couple of people that I know in the business, and a couple of people, one or two. We have some mutual friends in the business that may or may not wind up on his staff, but having those conversations, you could tell how he's thinking through it. This guy might fit in college, but might not fit here. This guy might fit if you're running this, but might not fit if you're here. He's already there in his mind, and I could tell that with the conversation. So, and by the way, I'm not saying other coaches don't do the same thing, but he's the coach here, and he's the coach. So it'll be very interesting to see. So, but I do want to get into all the teams, who they've hired, who might do well, who might not do well. We'll come up. I want to talk about that coming up in just a bit. Some more NFL talk in a bit. We've got a Duval County Scholar athlete right around the corner. We'll do that and a whole lot more. We're glad you're with us on this Tuesday installment of the program. The Tuesday is always brought to you by Nimnick, the Nimnick family of dealerships. That means Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett Avenue, right there at Park, and Nimnick Buick GMC over here on Phillips Highway. Boy, the Nimnick name in this town has been the place to buy cars for the longest time. I've been buying my cars there since 1982, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. You want a car dealership you can trust, you want the name Nimnick to be on it. Back in a moment. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Buick GMC. And as we begin 2025, Nimnick is excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. If you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Here's to another year of driving forward together. Looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now, with Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value on your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the best time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. And man, you get all the makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Trading in your old vehicle? Don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. You are
1010XL. Roll with Hard Rock Bet for Big Game 59 because we're rolling out over $5.9 million in bonus bets. The big game kicks off Sunday in New Orleans, but get your share of Big Easy bonus bets now so you can place more bets on us instead of using your own cash. It's the big game rollout. $5.9 million in promos only on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
You know, many plumbers won't quote prices over the phone and instead charge a service fee for an in-home estimate. Of course, because they know once they're in your home, you're probably not going to send them away. But Roland Reach Plumbing is different. Roland will give you a price quote over the phone, and there's never a trip charge or service fee for an estimate. So if you've got a leak and can't wait a week and don't like paying unnecessary fees, call on Roland Reach Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Cook
Chicken with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer. So Mike Dempsey talks about his 23 pounds lost in the first 4 weeks with Awaken 180. You know what? I lost the same amount my first 4 weeks. It's not about if you're going to lose the weight. It's about how easy it is to do it. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I've known Glenn Coen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes and Coen.
1010XL is presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Nimnick Chevrolet is on Caston Avenue at their park. Nimnick Buick GMC, a beautiful car dealership as well, over here on Phillips Highway. You want to buy a car around here, Buicks or GMCs or Chevrolets, a great American-made car. The best place to get it is the place people get cars in Jacksonville, and that is Nimnick. Head to Nimnick today. Frangie and Carlyon. JJ LaSelva with you. JJ, how you doing there, buddy? All right? You good?
I'm good.
All right? You ready? You ready for pitchers and catchers or what?
Oh, my God.
We're close,
Is
right?
that close?
Yeah, about 16 days, I think.
Is that
wow.
right?
Yeah, 16 days.
That's awesome.
Pitchers and catchers in 6. Not that I'm counting.
Yeah.
The pitchers and catchers are 16 days. Okay. Hey, listen.
Who do you guys think you'll start opening day?
Yeah, that'll be a hard pick for us, won't it? Listen. I think of the 74 wins we plan on getting, I expect him to have 21 of them.
Yeah.
So just so you know, I expect 21 of the 74.
Maybe they'll actually score some runs for him this year.
Well, if they scored runs, he'd have like 31. so there's that.
I know who won't be there. That 11-year-old that won his baseball card declined the ticket.
He said, "I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good." Well, I've told you this before. There's not a tougher ticket in sports.
Yeah.
Than that Tuesday night 7:05 start against the Reds. Okay, that's a hard one to get, Hayes. I'm just telling you that. If you can get your hands on that one, sell that bad
in
boy.
August.
Okay. Yeah, right in the middle of August when training camp started.
Both teams are out of it.
Both teams are out of it. It's 900 degrees. That's a hard ticket, man. I'm just telling you, it's a tough one. All right, the NFL coaches. Let's go team by team. Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson. Is he going to be the boy wonder megastar that everybody thinks he's going to be? Is Caleb Williams on his way to greatness? I want to talk about all the teams that change coaches. Where are they headed in your mind?
Well, I give the Bears an A+ because I think they got the best offensive mind that was on the market. And so, and again, that Ben Johnson has a resume in which he's done it at a very high level as an offensive coordinator for multiple years, and does have significant experience as a position coach as well. So I think Ben Johnson gets an A+. Now, in terms of how he will fare, that's a different part of the equation. With the Lions and the Packers and the Vikings, it's certainly going to be difficult. I think Ben Johnson gets a second contract there, but I think it's going to be more because he's able to get in, maybe a wild card berth once in his first 3 years, something like that. But they will be immediately they will be like a team that can go win at least 7 games and be right there. So I think Chicago will see progress. I think Caleb Williams will certainly flourish. But in that division, I'll say that they're competitive and they do make the playoffs under Ben Johnson, but I don't think they're going to be there every single year.
Yeah, I think he'll do a good job there. I do think wrong time to get in that division, because I don't think all of a sudden the Lions, despite losing the coordinators, are going to go away. I think the Packers have a great future with the quarterback and the coach. I really do. I think they might be the team to beat in that division as it moves forward. And the Vikings, they're probably going to give the ball to J.J. McCarthy. I get that. But he's a good coach. And it wasn't just Sam Darnold's rediscovery that made them good. So it's a tough division. So I think they'll be good. I don't know that I think they'll win the division particularly often. So I think that. The Patriots signed Mike Vrabel. Hired Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I mean, I think A+ hire. Obviously, it wasn't the trickiest path for the Patriots because they have such a history with Vrabel from his playing days. But you still give him credit. Give Vrabel credit as well. But I thought A+ hire. I think he's got a chance to be outstanding for New England and really make them a contender in that division pretty quickly. Obviously, the Bills are a juggernaut, and they're going to be there with Josh Allen. But I think the Patriots can certainly get past the Dolphins, and the Jets are starting anew as well and really don't know what they're doing at quarterback. So I think Mike Vrabel with Drake May, I think the Patriots finish second in the AFC East now moving forward. I don't think they'll catch Buffalo, but I think the Patriots will be happy with the improvement that they see.
I'll really keep an eye on them. I think they may, along with the Jags, have the best record among the teams with new coaches. And part of that's quarterback. Drake May's good. Nobody talks about him. We forget because there's so much attention for Caleb Williams. There's so much attention for Trevor. There's so much attention for other young quarterbacks who are on teams that got new coaches.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at that class. Yeah. Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix.
Right.
I mean, it was outstanding. And Drake May fits very well in there.
But he's good. I think with Vrabel, I do think Josh McDaniels will do a good job there. I think he fits what Vrabel wants. I think he's good. Look, Josh McDaniels, there's no in between. He's either really good or really not, but at times he can be very good as a coordinator. I think they're going to be good. I think Drake May is going to be a good player. Again, nobody's talking about him. You're right. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams being in the same class will do that to you. But I think he's going to be a really good player. So I think that is an excellent hire. And again, I was a Vrabel guy before anybody hired any of their coaches. So I think they will do better in the East moving forward than the Bears will do in the NFC North moving forward. That's what I think. The Raiders. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I like the hire. I mean, I think that in terms of a grade for it, I'd probably give it. I mean, obviously they were hoping to get Ben Johnson, so they didn't get their first choice. But I'd still give Pete Carroll an A- as an hire because I see a lot of things with the Raiders that I think are here with the Jaguars, and so I think it does make sense. Ultimately, I think the Jaguars ended up in a great spot with Liam Coen as I've gotten to know more about him, and I've seen him take out Trent Baalke. But I think in looking at what Las Vegas needs, they need a grown-up. Like, they just don't know what they're – like, Mark Davis doesn't know what he's doing. Like, his dad might have been a great football mind, but he is not. And, it made sense for him to go and bring in Tom Brady as a minority owner and kind of say, hey, you're going to be, a lot of the brains behind this as well. But to go get Pete Carroll with a young GM in Spytech, Carroll brings credibility instantly to your locker room. He's somebody that the players are absolutely going to listen to and be immediately bought into. And he's got a great mentality for showing you without being arrogant about it. Like, this is the way. Like, he'll teach Tom Brady a lot as an executive. He'll teach Spytech a lot as a general manager. So I think having a voice like Pete Carroll, who again is, had an unbelievable coaching career. I think that was a very strong hire. It's hard for me to go any higher than A- just because there's obviously a shelf life on the hire. Pete is even older than Bill Belichick. So while he looks very youthful, will he be there beyond 3 or 4 years?
I think they're going to really struggle. And I like Pete Carroll, and I like the hire. I think, number one, you got to find a quarterback. You got to find a young rookie quarterback, and you're pairing him with a veteran coach who's used to veteran quarterbacks. And you're in just a brutally tough division. I can't imagine the Raiders turning the corner anytime soon. I mean, Bo Nix just got to the league. Justin Herbert got there a little bit before him. Patrick Mahomes, I just read this, that it has now been biologically proven that he's always going to be in his 20s. I didn't realize that. He'd be the first person of all time to never leave his 20s. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's as young and ready, and he's going to win his third ring, but
in a row.
In a third, correct. But I just so for me, I don't know what the Raiders can do.
I think they'll struggle. I mean, I like the hire. I think the hire was smart because the Raiders needed somebody.
I do too,
with some sense.
I do too.
But I will. Yeah, I mean, but I agree with you. I mean, they're going to have a lot of patience because it's you're looking at 0-6 is a very realistic divisional record for at least this coming season and probably even going into year 2 of this. So again, that's why I gave it an A- because they need at least 2 years. And I mean, barring something crazy, like maybe they sign Sam Darnold and he ends up playing at a high level for them. Maybe they take a swing on Aaron Rodgers and he rediscovers his game. I don't think that'll happen. But, my guess is they'll have to go through the draft, and that's probably going to be treacherous in that division for them.
What about Aaron Glenn and the Jets?
I think it's a really strong hire. I mean,
it's going to be a good coach.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it a strong A. I mean, again, the Jets, they need somebody that is a grown-up and knows how to operate in the league. And while Aaron Glenn has not been a head coach before, he's been a magnificent defensive coordinator, and he had a great playing career in the league. So he has seen it from a lot of different perspectives. And so, I think Aaron Glenn has a chance. And defensively, the Jets have some talent, and they have some pieces on offense. But, again, that's where it becomes what are they doing at quarterback and how quickly can they get that solved? Because without that, Aaron Glenn's going to struggle because how can you not if you've got one of the worst quarterback situations in the league? You can't overcome that.
I guess where I am on some of this, Hays, it's really hard. It seems harder with what's coming out of college. And this is 1 year, by the way, after Caleb and Jaden Daniels and Drake May came out. J.J. McCarthy came out. So it's 1 year after that group came out. So maybe it's just an off year. But I don't know that I sense there's a lot of help coming out these days. Cam Ward will be okay. Shedeur Sanders, that's about it. I do think guys like Jason Dart, there's a handful of guys that are better than advertised. I thought Garrett Nussmeier should have come out.
Milroe will be interesting because somebody's going to take him somewhere in the first round.
Because they think there's Jalen Hurts in there.
Yeah,
I agree.
And that's it. Like, does he become like Lamar, who was also a late first-round pick? Or does he become somebody who – is he like –
remember the guy the Niners got? Is number 3? What was his name?
Yeah, Trey Lance. I mean, Milroe has played. Lance had barely played in college.
I'm just saying his NFL career.
Correct. But
Jalen Hurts is the comp. He's played big-time football. You're right. He's a physical runner. But you're right. There's not a lot in there. So all right, final team is.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was maybe it was Dane Brugler talking about it at the Senior Bowl, but that Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, if they were in last year's class, would probably be like quarterback 6.
Yeah,
6 and 7.
Correct.
So
I didn't know that.
So
but
it's a terrible year to need one.
All
Next year gets better because you've got some pretty good guys. Assuming like guys come out like Arch Manning and you got the Drew Aller kid at Penn State. So next year might be a really good year, but not so much this year.
Finally, the Dallas Cowboys hired Shot. He's ready to go play.
Yeah, that's an F. That's an F minus.
Why do you think they hired him?
Because he wants somebody he can manipulate.
Yeah.
He's
that seems to be the consensus.
He's a bad owner in that regard. I mean, Jerry Jones he wants it to be very clear that he runs the Dallas Cowboys. He's not only the owner, he's the GM. He talks after every game, which is just, unbelievable. No other owner does that. It's great for the fans and stuff, but to have that, but he's not any good anymore. And really, you can argue, was he ever, or did he just make a tremendous hire on Jimmy Johnson? Because it's certainly, post Jimmy Johnson, there isn't a lot to show for.
And they went to school
in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think Brian Schottenheimer is this is, to me, one of the worst head coaching hires that we've seen in the league in the last 10 years. It's just, there's no evidence to suggest that he is doing anything in terms offensively of where the sport is going. There is, no sense of creativity. There's no sense that he's going to be a great leader. Why would it have taken him this long to get his first crack at being a head coach? And so, again, I hope he does well. He's, Florida Gator alum and everything, seems like a very nice guy. And I thought his dad, Marty Schottenheimer, was an outstanding coach. But I think this, considering what was out there, I think it's shocking that Jerry Jones settled on Brian Schottenheimer.
Are you disrespecting all the touchdowns he accounted for in college?
I am.
Do you know how many that is?
8.
2.
There you go.
2. Well, actually 3. He ran for 1.
Oh, okay.
You know that? Okay.
Oh, he's sneaky.
Okay, 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Okay, just make sure you know that.
Yeah.
He lifted the Gators to greatness. Obviously, you don't respect that. That he lifted the Gators to greatness with those 2 touchdown runs.
What do you think?
Here's what I think.
Because I think it's a disaster.
I think the most salient point you made there is there's no evidence that he's going to be good. There's nothing to find. There's nothing out there that says, hey, you know what? That might be pretty good. He might be. I'll say this again. You never know with a first-year coach.
Right.
But to your point, there's nothing to, if we're trying to be logical, there's nothing to point to that says, you know what? He did that. There's nothing. So I kind of hope he's good too, by the way. NFC, I don't care who wins the NFC. I remember him at Florida. I talked to his dad during that season when he was at Nappy's one time, and all about him. And so I don't know him, but I'm kind of rooting for him. I didn't get to know him very well. He was here for a while. He was here under Urban. And actually was a play caller the last 4 games when Bevel became the interim guy. But, it's hard to look at that and say there's evidence he'll be good. Now, you know what? Sometimes those guys wind up great. I'll be honest. There was no evidence Dan Campbell was going to be good. And he turned out to be great, or very good. So we'll see. All right, we'll take a break. I'm going to talk a little bit of college hoop when we come back. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You know Dan Hickett.
Shouldn't you be out signing autographs somewhere or something?
And you know Jeff Prosser.
I wanted to be a magician.
They are the Drill.
Exactly. You know it.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Everyone can eat grits. A big bag of grits.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Find your New Year's stride with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And check out their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a 50% bump on your first deposit. For a limited time, MyBookie will add 50% to your initial deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite in the big game over the Eagles at the Superdome. The over-under is 49.5 points. There are also great player props that you've got to check out. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a 50% bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
I'm Renee Harrell. At Harrell & Harrell, we understand when you've been in an accident, there's a lot to handle. You've lost pay, and now the medical bills are piling up. When there isn't much insurance, some attorneys will pay your bills, take their fee, leaving you with even less than them. Not at Harold & Harold. We'll work hard to reduce your medical bills, and we promise our fee will never be more than you take home. Call us today, 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole-body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Put your best foot forward and score 60 minutes of soccer insight on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 12th through 16th. The Daytona 500 is sold out, but you can still win a 4-pack of tickets to all the other Speed Weeks races. What anniversary of the Great American Race does 2025 mark? Text the anniversary number to 641-1010. What anniversary of the Great American Race does 2025 mark? Text the answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Speed Weeks races.
Instead of wasting money on resolutions you won't keep, why not invest in something that lasts? Like fixing that dripping faucet, clearing that clogged drain, or finally tuning up your AC. Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. We'll help you keep your home in shape this year. It's the one resolution you won't regret breaking. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule service today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hair4me.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
All right, we thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett. Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. Since 1941, they've been doing it. Since 1982, I've been buying my cars there. Sure appreciate my friends at the Nimnick family dealerships. Frangie and Carlyon in La Selva with you. All right, the Gators go on a real tough stretch of basketball. They're off this week. That's their midweek bye. Everybody gets one of those. Then is at Tennessee, noon on Saturday. Home against Vanderbilt on Tuesday. At Auburn, and then at Mississippi State. Those teams, Auburn is ranked number 1 in America. You'll probably pull up the net, but I'm just talking about in the AP poll.
They're 1 in the net, too.
Okay, Auburn is number 1. Tennessee is number 8 in the AP poll.
4th in the net.
Mississippi State is 14th in the AP poll. So according to AP, you are playing 1, 8, and 14 all on the road in the next couple weeks. That is a brutally tough thing. And a home game against a way better Vanderbilt team than anybody thought they would have. Vanderbilt, by the way, 16-4 and is ranked 24th. So you are facing, according to the AP poll, 4 ranked teams, 3 in the top 14, all on the road, and a home game against the 24th ranked team. It is a brutally tough stretch of 4 games for the Gators.
It really is. The only game that I don't think they can win is at Auburn. That would be a real surprise to me if Florida is able to go do that. By the way, this is just preposterous. Auburn in quad 1 games this year, 11-1.
In quad 1 games.
In quad 1 games, which is the hardest to win. Just to give you an example, going down the line of teams from Auburn, this is the amount of quad 1 wins they have. Again, Auburn 11-1. 2, 5, 5, 4. Florida's 4-2. 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 3, 6. 5, 2, 6. Auburn has 11. No one else has more than 6. And the fact that Auburn didn't lose a game with Janai Broome out,
right?
I mean, obviously they're head and shoulders the best team in the country, at least right now. So, the other games, I would think at Mississippi State, at Tennessee. At Tennessee, I think you have a chance. I'll pick Tennessee, but I think you have a chance because sometimes you just match up well against an opponent. Tennessee is very defensive-minded, and so if they can't really slow Florida as much as they're used to slowing teams, then it can be hard for them because Tennessee can go through scoring droughts. I don't think it'll be anything near what we saw in Gainesville, but a massacre like that gives me some pause that I don't know that Tennessee's just going to roll the ball out and beat Florida in Knoxville, but they probably will. And then probably the swing game in the stretch is at Mississippi State. You need to hold serve against Vandy, as talented as the Commodores are. But if you can win at Mississippi State, then at Auburn and at Tennessee kind of become house money games.
It's amazing the overall records going through the AP poll. Auburn 18-1. Duke 17-2, Iowa State 17-2, Alabama 17-3, Florida 18-2, Houston 16-3, Michigan State 17-2, Tennessee 17-3. Down a little bit lower, Mississippi State 16-4. Is anybody losing games?
Iowa State lost last night, so that was
okay.
So they're 17-3. They lost to an unranked Arizona, so that's helpful for Florida. Because again, if you're a Gators fan, I mean, enjoy this. You were hunting for a 1 seed, and so you can watch Duke and Houston and Iowa State, and obviously there's a lot of teams in the SEC as well vying for that, Auburn and Tennessee and Alabama. But I mean, that was big for Florida last night that Iowa State lost. It didn't drop them in the net. They stayed at 6, but it makes it, a little bit harder for Iowa State to try and get one of those 1 seeds if Florida is able to continue to play at a really high level.
The back in the day when boxing was the thing, every boxer you'd see was 28-0, 31-1. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
They're all 26-1, 34-2. Every boxer.
Yeah.
My friend Greg Larson, God rest his soul, who did radio for many years in here, used to say, there must be one boxer out there who's like 1-90.
Yes.
I mean, because it was amazing.
Glass Joe.
Yeah, I mean, there had to be somebody out there. So I mean, it just seems like the records are off the chart here with these good teams.
Without a doubt. And, again, we've talked about it in the SEC. I mean, you look at that conference that's known for football, and here as we sit pretty deep into the season, they've got 6 teams in the top 16 in the net, and the 6th team is Kentucky.
Right.
I mean, what's really been interesting is seeing it, and I think Kentucky should be excited about Mark Pope, their new coach, but they're kind of battling to find their way. They play Tennessee tonight at 7. And Kentucky already is kind of struggling to stay, over 500 in the SEC. Now they played such a brutal schedule that their net is still very good, but they're 3-3 in the league, playing Tennessee tonight, so they could easily be 3-4.
So that'll be a fun game to watch. Tomorrow night tomorrow afternoon we'll be at JU and Gulf Coast. That's a really good game. Tomorrow at Swisher at 7:00. Hey, JU is 7-1 in the league. That is sole possession of first place. I'm trying to remember the last time JU was in sole possession of first place in that league as we neared February. I don't remember it. Ever since the ASUN started, I don't remember that. Maybe the Sun Belt days, but I'm trying to remember. But the JU is 7-1 in the league, 13-7 overall. Lipscomb, North Alabama, and Gulf Coast, who they play tomorrow, are all 6-2 in the league. Queens, who both JU and UNF just went and beat on the road, is 5-3 in the league. Stetson, who had a miserable start, is now 5-3 in the league. UNF is 3-5. So I don't think it's over for UNF. UNF could get on a run. The whole key, remember, is just to make that tournament. UNF, I still believe they're better than that 3-5 record. They've won at South Carolina. They won at Georgia Tech. They just won at Queens, who's one of the better teams in this league. And that Rumble comes up on Saturday night. It's the first one's at JU. Don't think for a minute UNF won't be in that thing all the way. They'll battle them to the wire. So, but good for JU. 7-1 in that league, 13-7 overall. I guess maybe, now remember, they were really good 2 years ago, Jordan Mincy's first year. But it does make me feel like this might be his best team in his 3 years there.
Well, they're the only team that he's had that routinely is hitting 10 threes a game.
They can shoot.
And so, I mean, that's been the biggest difference maker is, you're a great JU fan and, you watch a ton of them. I don't watch a lot of their games, but obviously I'm always intrigued to see what their numbers look like. And, I mean, you routinely see a team that's, has a good assist to turnover mark and is hitting 10 threes. With their style, if they get 30 points or more from behind the 3-point line, they're going to beat you.
Yeah.
Because that's secondary to them.
Yeah.
Defense is the priority. So, and with UNF, UNF just has to get better defensively if they can. And a lot of that's probably want to. But, UNF just has too many games where the opponent's shooting 54% or better from the field. And you almost just have to play perfect on your end offensively to have a chance to win games like that. So they've got to try and get, that number down to a more respectable, can you hold teams to 46%, which is still not like fantastic, but, you would have a chance with as explosive an offense and as versatile an offense as UNF has. But this allowing 55% from the floor to teams routinely, I mean, that you're not going to go anywhere if that remains the case.
Got to play better defense, no question. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the tomorrow JU at home against Gulf Coast, and then the first of the two Rumbles, UNF at JU, comes up on Saturday night. We'll take a break. Let's talk some NFL, and I want to talk a little bit about the NFL broadcasts. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
Sound the siren as we honor first responders at Swisher Gym. JU, Florida Gulf Coast. Tomorrow at 7 on 1010 AM.
This is Hays Carlyon here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish family, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Mike Dempsey here. All right, we're almost a month into the new year. How's that resolution to drop your first 20 to 25 pounds going? Didn't happen? Yeah, well, that's probably because you didn't call Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I did, and in just 4 weeks, I dropped 23 pounds and was at my goal. But here's the crazy part. It didn't stop there. It was so easy. I kept going. Did it another week. Next thing I know, I'm down 27 pounds. That's right, 27. You know what's wild? I can still see my abs again. I'm not ripped. I don't have a six-pack, but I didn't even think I had those anymore before Awaken 180. It's amazing when you see the results. Feel the results. You just want to keep pushing forward. That's what makes Awaken 180 so different. It's not some medication quick fix where the weight comes off and comes back. It's real results that you can see and feel. Fast results and lasting results. Results that make you want to keep going. To reach a goal you never thought possible. Want the same for you? Then do it. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com today.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Put your best foot forward and score 60 minutes of soccer insight on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Take your taste buds to One Night Taco Stand for Taco Tuesday. Get $2.99 tacos and $6.99 specialty drinks. The 1010XL restaurant of the day is One Night Taco Stand, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Hi, I'm Tara Gross. Thank you to the players for your ongoing commitment to Northeast Florida. At Mayo Clinic, we share the same drive through world-class innovation, improving the lives of both our patients and the community. It's 42 days until the players.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold & Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold & Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold & Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything. at 904-999-1508 or just go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm Max Finke with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. 1010XL's very own Rick Ballou got the opportunity to ask Liam Coen about the excitement he has for the opportunity to be Trevor Lawrence's next play caller going into year 5 and how important stability is for Trevor at this point in his career. Here's what Liam Coen responded with.
How do we make Trevor Lawrence in this offense as dynamic and explosive as we can be? We've got to build it around him as well. We've got to make every part of this about improvement, and he will be a part of that process. He's earned that right. I cannot respect his toughness and mentality and work ethic more than I do already from afar, and this will all be about Trevor right now.
Cohen's main focus will be leading his new quarterback to massive strides of growth within the new system. It's 63 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
All right, it's time for our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's Ben Krause from Paxton and joins. Ben, how are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, you had basketball practice today?
Yes, sir. I just came from practice.
Okay, how's practice?
It was pretty good. You know, we always practice hard, 6 days a week. So.
Did you dunk on anybody at practice?
I actually did today.
Okay, so there you go. I could just kind of tell that. So
I would imagine that happens a lot. Ben, how tall are you?
6'8". So
6'8". Okay.
Yeah.
What sort of strengths of your game?
I'm usually good in the post. Usually play the 5 or 4, and I like to get to that right hand hook.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Tell us about your basketball career. How long you played? When did the light kind of go on for you when you knew you'd have something special with basketball?
So I've played since I think 5, and they just saw I was tall, so they kind of threw me in there, and I liked it. So I've been playing ever since then. I didn't play like serious competitive basketball till middle school, and then I met some people, and I actually played soccer for my middle school team in 7th grade, and then I played basketball for my middle school team in 8th grade because I realized I liked basketball more. And then I went to my high school, Paxton, and I played basketball all 4 years, and I've really liked it. I've liked the guys. I've liked the coach. He pushes me hard. It's been good.
Yeah, you're 6'8". When you were playing that middle school soccer, how tall were you?
Probably 6'4".
As a tall guy, okay, as a tall soccer player.
Without a doubt. In terms of college, are you hoping you'll be able to play at the next level?
Yeah, I do. I want to study at a good academic school in a city, and I want to be able to have the opportunity to play basketball as well.
Talk a little bit about what you want to do. What do you want to study? What interests you? What would you like to major in?
Ever since I'm little, I've liked computers, so I would be interested in something with computers, like computer science, or something more in the finance, / technical area, something like that.
What do you think you want to do?
That's a good question.
You don't have to know yet.
I'm really not completely sure, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
You have something really cool on here for clubs and activities. Self-taught to code and research sports medicine AI applications.
Yeah. So basically what my essay was about, my college essay, I wrote about how, because my junior year and my sophomore year, I got injured. And that's when AI was getting popular. So it made me want to look into how AI can be used to help people prevent injuries and just help recover from injuries. And that was interesting to me, as I also love basketball. I also love technical computers and stuff.
That's really cool. That's all right. So tell us about your basketball season. Who would you play tomorrow? How's your team? How's the season going? Give us a whole update.
We've been doing okay. We lost a lot of seniors last year. Tomorrow we play Fernandina Beach. It's our last regular season game.
Okay.
And coming this next week, I'm pretty sure we're seeded number 1 in our district. And we have a bye Monday.
Okay.
Then we play the winner out of Baker County and Menendez on Wednesday. And if we win that, then we play Friday in the district championship.
Okay.
And we've won the past 3 years, so I'm hoping we can win a 4th one.
You've won the district the last 3 years. Wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
So let me, and I should know this. Is the district tournament at one site, or is it kind of a home-and-home, higher-seeded team? How does that work?
I'm pretty sure the higher-seeded team gets the home court advantage.
Okay. So back in the day, did they have it at a place, or was it always like that?
when I covered it, I think they had it at like one school.
One school, but now it's kind of a home and home. So all right, so you've won it the last 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Plan on winning it again, sounds like.
Yes, sir.
What's your dream school? Where are you hoping to go to college?
That's a good question. Right now, I'm waiting to hear from Northeastern, so
Okay.
I would like that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, Ben Krause, congratulations. Good luck against Fernandina. Good luck in the district tournament. And you are our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Ben Krause, the Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week, and it's great to see him. He's from Paxton. Just left basketball practice, okay?
Yeah.
And dunked on somebody today. That's the best part. He dunked on somebody in today's practice.
Absolutely.
Ben, congratulations. Good to see you. Ben Krause, what a good guy. And he looks like he could play, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
He's 6'8",
Great.
athletic
Yeah,
looking.
length. Yeah, absolutely.
long.
I would
and lean.
imagine he dunks on a lot of people.
Yeah, did. I mean that was good. Dunk today?
Yeah.
Did you dunk on anybody? Yeah, I kind of dunked on someone today. It's perfect. So, Ben Krause, our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. All right, I'm going to make a comment. And by the way, I do want to remind you, we talked about this at the top of the program. You can now get tickets for this pep rally on Thursday. It's called Coach Coen's First Duval, and he's going to be there at the stadium. Tony Baselli's going to be on stage with them. It's going to be Tony and Liam and it's sort of a round table. I say a round table, sort of a panel discussion all about things. You'll get to meet Coen, Coach Coen. The D-line's going to be there. The Roar is going to be there. Jackson DeVille, of course, is going to be there. And again, our friend Tony Baselli is going to be kind of emceeing it, or certainly be up there. I would imagine JP will MC it, but Tony will be up there on the panel. What a fun night. I mean, again, what Jaguar fans, you're excited. You've been waiting for the new coach. You've been waiting for the guy. You can go on Jaguars.com and get your tickets right now. We'll be there.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a fun night.
Absolutely, it'll be a fun night. And again, I'm sure that, fans have been able to, see his press conference, streamed and things like that. But it's always cool when you get to have that, personal encounter and, even if you're not able to shake his hand, just to see him in person and listen to him. And you just get a different energy when you're live and in person. And it should be a lot of fun. Again, fans seem really fired up about it, as they should be. And it's also a good opportunity just to welcome them. And the city does such a great job of making itself, accommodating to new people that arrive. And certainly you want to do that with the football coach.
And by the way, it's free. Okay.
Yeah.
You do have to register on Jaguars.com. Because they need to have an idea of how many people are coming.
Yeah, you have to have a ticket.
Yeah, you have to have a ticket. But go register, get your ticket for free. 40% off concessions, which is really kind of cool. 25% off all the Fanatics merchandise in the West Club Pro Shop. And you can get pictures, by the way. You can line up and get your picture taken, get to know the guy. So this is a fun day. Don't pass this up now. Jaguars.com, get your ticket, get your free ticket. Hayes and I will be down there doing our show.
Should be nice weather.
We'll have the 1010XL van down there. We'll have our own tchotchkes. So come it's a Thursday night party. Thursday night's a great night for a party. Celebrate the new coach, Liam Coen. So we hope you come down there. We'll be telling you about it the next couple of days. We certainly hope you'll come down there and hang out with us. All right, I'll make a comment about this. I think Tom Brady's pretty good. I wanted to watch enough games now. It was vogue to talk about how he wasn't as good and Greg Olsen would have been better, and I get it. But I'm telling you, I've watched him now with Burkhardt 2 weeks ago. Not this weekend, there was only 2 games. But last weekend, Hayes, Tirico Collinsworth, Burkhardt and Brady, Buck and Aikman, Nance and Romo all worked games. Now that's a power hitter's delight, man. That is for power couples, if you will.
Yeah.
And they're all really good. I think Brady's right in there. I know people say he's terrible and he's not good. He wasn't ready for it, but he's enthusiastic. He's articulate. He tells me things I didn't know. He tells me why a play was called. I mean, I'm listening. I don't know if you're listening as closely as I am, but I'm listening close to it. And look, if I had to rank him, I might rank him 4th only because he's new at it in this group. But it's not a distant 4th. They're all good, man. I mean, Tirico Collinsworth, Buck Aikman, Burkhardt Brady, Nance Romo. We are in a golden age, man, of play-by-play in color on National Football League broadcasts. And I think Tom Brady fits right in there. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I never really had a huge issue with him at the start, but you could tell, there was he was sort of over-talking. And I think I brought this up early on. I didn't think Fox did him any favors because, like, his first game they basically embarrassed Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi with their halftime reports, basically gushing over Tom Brady. Like,
right.
It was so cringeworthy. It was like one of them was Aaron Andrews talking about how Mike McCarthy was so blown away and thought it was so cool that Tom Brady, liked his second quarter adjustments. It's like, come on, okay, we get it. He's the best to ever do it, but you don't have to keep hammering it, and particularly with journalists that have their own legacy going. And Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi, both fantastic, have had fantastic runs. So some of it was, I think he was sort of shoved down people's throats early on, and that didn't go over well. But yeah, I think he's found his groove. I think he's found his rhythm. Didn't he do Sunday's game? Didn't he do Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the number one team.
Yeah, and I thought I would agree. I think he's been good, and with him now owning part of the Raiders, he says he's committed to staying on doing it. We'll see if that becomes an issue for the league, but I don't have any problem with Tom Brady. I think he's had some rough spots early, as you would probably anticipate,
right.
But no, I think he's a fine broadcaster.
And I will tell you, it is the lineup. I mean, any of those four are really good. I mean, in the play,
Collinsworth, I think, is the best, because Collinsworth to me has the right mentality of it's almost like. And I like this. Maybe some people would be put off by this. It's almost like a professor kind of taking you through. Like, to me, Collinsworth could be like a professor taking you through, like, the Iliad.
Yeah.
And why the Iliad is an important work of literature. Like, it's just like he has such a love and deep understanding of the game, but he does it in a way. It's not like he's talking down to a group of students, but it's very professor-like,
it's
I think, in how he diagnoses it, which I think is it's tough to do on the spot and be concise. So I think he's a really good communicator at it. But I agree. I mean, I don't have a problem with any of them. I mean, it's Aikman's probably the one that if I had to remove one of them,
right,
it'd probably be Aikman.
Right.
But but I don't think he does a bad job.
See, I probably have Aikman first.
I was about to say I like him more now than I used to, because he sounds like pissed off.
Yeah.
And when the quarterbacks are playing terribly, he'll call it out.
Right.
I love Collinsworth, but I always hate how he's in love with every quarterback.
Yeah. Here's a guy.
Yeah, he does. He loves that. But yeah, I think they're all great.
Yeah,
I wish Olsen was doing the Super Bowl though. Not only as a Hurricane, I just think he's the best.
And he's very good. But I will tell you, I probably like.
Who has the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's
Fox.
It's Brady.
Really?
But he's it would have been Olsen if not for Brady.
I think Aikman's the best, but I could shuffle him and have him fourth. That's kind of my point. Is you could shuffle these around very easily, and it wouldn't. And Brady fits into that shuffle. It's kind of where I'm going with.
Yeah,
this.
you don't have Herb Street on your list, right?
No. This I don't.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have him near these guys.
And I still because I think he's fabulous as a college guy. But I can't accept him yet as
I don't even think about him.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
I don't think he's particularly strong in the NFL.
Because it's just hard, But these four guys, this is the top four teams. This is the four teams.
I got you.
This is NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. And again, you could shuffle them around. You could say this guy's third and this guy's first. And I really do. I think it's a really good broadcast team. A bunch of really good broadcast teams.
What about play-by-play?
If for me, again, all four of them. I'm a Buck fan. I just love Buck. I think Joe Buck got beat up way too much early in his career. I think he's a fabulous pro. So if I had to rank, again, I'd have them lumped in there together. I'd probably go, for me, Buck, Nance, Tirico, Burkhardt. But again, I could honestly, JJ, I could move them around.
Yeah, I like Burkhardt, but it's not a big game sound just because he hasn't been doing as many big games. To me, it's like when you hear Nance, you know what time it is.
Yeah. And you know what? Part of that is, you just said it. Part of that is familiarity with the tenor, familiarity with his rhythm, and I with his cadence. I can tell you that becoming a play-by-play guy for a team. When Brian had done it for all those years, people had to get used to my cadence. Ask Sean Kelly, when Mick had done it for 33 years, people had to get used to Sean's cadence, and it takes a while. Jeff Culhane, is the new Seminole guy after Deckerhoff did it for all those years. People had to get used to the tenor and the cadence and the rhythm of the broadcast. And to your point, JJ, you're used to Nance, his rhythm on those big games.
Exactly.
You hear "Hello, Friends" and you know it's big.
Chiefs versus Bills.
That's correct. And so, but I think they all do a good job. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's do headlines. Hays has them. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Play-by-play just makes everyday life better.
I did not see this one coming.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it, and now we're set for the final stretch on the road to New Orleans. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back, and if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 50% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The big game prop bets are going to be plentiful, so take a hard look at player props and the wacky big game props you see each year from MyBookie. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. Sign up now and get your 50% bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. The road to New Orleans is here for the big game. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Memories. Moments.
Big moment.
Highlights.
Can you believe this?
Huddle up with 1010XL and Window World of Northeast Florida as we prepare the path for the showdown in the Superdome.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. No matter the weather, Triumph has an unbelievable selection of rides where you can get out and just enjoy the highway.
They do. The new Rocket is out with the new color schemes, the Tiger 1200, which has been revamped. These bikes are nice, gorgeous, and ready to ride.
And if you want to take a look at the selection, they can just roll into the showroom and see a full variety.
We've got them all in stock and ready to go.
So if you log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, search the Triumph line, and then head into the showroom. You'll be impressed. Cycles of Jacksonville.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Hopefully you won't need them. Hopefully you don't get injured. But if you do, give them a call, 251-1111, and they'll take great care of you. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. They're going to have a fan event with head coach Liam Coen on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at Everbank Stadium. The event is free, but you need to register at jaguars.com to get a ticket.
It's going to be a blast. You're going to have the Roar there. You're going to have the D-line there. You're going to have us there, for God's sake. I'm doing our radio show. And then, of course, Tony Baselli and Liam will be out there on the sort of a panel discussion where people get to know him, ask him questions, I would imagine, photo ops with him. So it's a pep rally, man. There's no bad pep rally. So right now, go get the coach. We're all excited about turning the corner a little bit. And so sign up, and you'll be on your way down there.
And Liam Coen wasting no time getting his defensive coordinator search going. The Jaguars continue to be very transparent announcing these interviews. The Jaguars have interviewed Patrick Graham, Los Angeles Rams defensive backs coach Aubrey Pleasant, Green Bay's linebacker coach and run game coordinator Anthony Campanile, Vikings passing game coordinator and DB's coach Durante Jones was in yesterday. So a lot of movement for that defensive coordinator job.
Yeah, and I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think the sooner, look, this is a year-long process, but every day matters. The sooner you get your coordinator hired, the sooner you can hire your staff under that coordinator. Most offensive-minded coaches, Hays, as you know, they want the coordinator to sort of be the head coach of the defense. So that's an important one, and I think the sooner, and I don't know that it's only 4. They've interviewed 4 so far. They could hire one of those 4. They could bring in more, but I like how aggressive they've been in trying to build that staff.
The Jaguars announced earlier today that they have extended special teams coordinator Heath Farwell. I think a brilliant move by Liam Coen. It shows a security, a confidence, and it's a smart decision. Heath Farwell doing an excellent job. Why would you run him off?
And on top, I agree with everything you just said. And on top of all that, Hayes, it was proactive. Let's go. This was, you know what I mean? This was the let's go moment. Let's don't sit around. Let's go. And so I love that they did that.
One element of the press conference that we didn't get to yesterday was Shad Khan asked about Tony Baselli's future role. And Shad said, quote, "We're going to have a position." Where do you think it ends up?
I don't know. I don't know that any of them know yet. I certainly don't have any insight on that. I think what we all have believed is that in some capacity he'll work there. Shad talked about that. They've got to go, and Shad made it right. He said they got to go through league officials and see what what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do. Hayes, my guess would be, and I want to be clear about this. This is a guess. I really don't know, but I would guess he'll be over a lot of the football operations, whether that means travel or food or nutrition. I would, and then we'll see whatever else is under him. But football operations, there's a lot of stuff. in a perfect world as I see it, the general manager, his job is go find football players and build a staff and hire scouts and whatever it takes to procure players. The coach is in charge of winning games, developing, practicing. So coach coaches the players and develops the players the GM gets. The GM goes and finds the players. I think you need someone to do all the rest of it. Travel, nutrition, equipment. There's so many logistics in running a football operation. In high school, the head coach does everything, right? I think having the right person that's over all of it, that oversees everything that's football, communications, anything football related, have one guy, and Tony would be great. I also think that allows him to be a little bit of a spokesperson for the team in addition to the coach, and I think he'd be very good at that as well. So I don't know the answer, but my vision is over everything football other than going and getting players, which is the GM, and coaching those players, which is the coach.
Let's get to Super Bowl 59. Do you like the matchup?
I love the matchup. I think, look, you root for the upset, but then when none of the upsets happen, you love the matchup you got. And I think it's the two. I think it's the best team in the NFC. I think it's the best team in the AFC. Nobody fluked into this or lucked into this. Obviously, the Bills are very good. The Ravens are very good. I mean, there's three teams, in my opinion, that are right there together in that AFC. The two teams that lost had a tight end drop a pass late, right? Now, they might not have won anyway, but that's the difference. Travis Kelce didn't drop any passes, and the Ravens tight end and the Bills tight end dropped big passes at the end of the game. And it's really as simple as that. But I love the matchup. I love how physical both teams are. I love how tough both teams are. I love both quarterbacks, and they play in different styles. Oh, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl.
Let's reflect a little bit on the quarterbacks that lost this past weekend. Let's start in the NFC with Jaden Daniels. Where is he headed? To superstardom, or does he have a C.J. Stroud kind of setback second year?
That's what gives you pause, right? Because of the season C.J. Stroud had after having a great season, and he wasn't bad, but he wasn't as good. I don't think so. I think everything you see with this guy is legit. He's got an element C.J. doesn't have, and that's as a runner. I think he can. I think we're in an age now that if quarterbacks can't run, you're dead in the water. I think they need to run more than ever that they've ever run. I think people are less worried than they've ever been about quarterbacks getting hurt. And CJ doesn't have that. That's one more dimension that Jaden has. He's extremely fast. I mean, just one thing about Lamar. Lamar's fast. On top of being a good physical runner, Josh Allen's fast. I think this guy's as well.
And let's get it to Josh Allen. Where do you see his legacy right now as a player? And do you think Josh Allen is ever able to get to the Super Bowl?
Ever's a long time. It wouldn't surprise me if it happens at some point. Look, Peyton was in Brady's shadow forever, finally got to one, and then got to another one with the Broncos. Yes, I think he's going to get to one at some point. But he came around at the wrong time. I mean, he was great he was great when there was a greater player playing. There's no better way to say it. He's great, but somebody's greater, and they're in the same era.
The ratings are in for Bills versus Chiefs. A stunning 57.7 million people watched, the second most for a non-Super Bowl ever.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, we hyped it all week long. I mean, the minute, look, as good as that Ravens-Bills game was, the minute that ball popped out of Mark Andrews' hands, we knew we had a heck of an AFC Championship game coming. We might have had one anyway. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
I watched it on Paramount Plus, so I wonder if that's even, like...
Part of it?
Could be.
Because there's probably an extra couple mil out.
Yeah, that's right.
That's wild. Todd Monken getting a contract extension from the Ravens as offensive coordinator.
I think he's really good. I'm surprised he didn't get a little more run. Again, he's 57, but a 73-year-old coach got hired, by the way. I'm surprised Todd didn't get a little more of a run when we're hiring these really good offensive minds. I think he's a very good one. But hey, he's got an extension. Good for him.
The Senior Bowl is going on right now in Mobile, Alabama. What should the Jaguars be on the lookout for?
Defensive tackles, offensive linemen. In addition to that, offensive linemen and defensive tackles. Look, I think the Jags ultimately need another receiver. I think they obviously need a corner to play opposite Tyson Campbell. But apart from that, Hayes, it's big people, man. I think one receiver to go with BTJ and whoever else is on the other side, whether they keep Christian Kirk, which I hope they do, by the way. One corner to play opposite Tyson Campbell. And, bro, to me, The rest of it's big people. It really is.
Yep, that's a good place to find them at the Senior Bowl. Let's get into college football. The ACC schedule was released last night. FSU plays Miami October 4th and at Clemson November 8th. The Canes have a bye prior to the game, but FSU plays at Virginia on the Friday night prior. So an interesting little quirk there for FSU, who also opens with Alabama and closes with the Gators.
They play my birthday, October 4th. Look, it's a tough schedule for FSU. You play Alabama and what should be a very good Florida team. And, oh, by the way, Miami and Clemson in the league. This is a really interesting year for Mike Norvell. Much harder schedule than anybody else in that conference, I would think. And you're on the hot seat. You've got a brand new team. What an intriguing season that's going to be. Essentially a team full of free agents. I mean, a team full of free agents, coach on the hot seat, tough schedule, renovated stadium. I mean,
coming off of 3 wins.
Coming off a 2-win season.
Yeah.
Coming off a 2-win season. What a year it's going to be.
Without a doubt. I don't know if this has anything to do with maybe bad blood between FSU and the ACC, but they weren't given any favors with their bye weeks. Florida State gets its first bye before the Kent State game.
Well, you got to be ready for the Flashes.
Yeah. And
you don't go into the Flashes game without a bye.
And then their second bye is before the Wake Forest game.
Well,
so they actually play at NC State the Friday before the Florida finale, which in years past has usually been either a bye or a cupcake. So, the byes do not really help Florida State much. And again, it's a big advantage for the Canes that they have a bye before they play FSU.
2 things. First, I let this go and I missed it, so shame on me. But the joy you took when JJ said 3 wins and racing to the mic, diving head first into the mic to say no, it was only 2.
Accuracy is what we're after.
Journalism.
That was tremendous. It's going to be a tough go for FSU on many fronts.
Yes, they were 2-10 this past season. Let's get it to Miami. The Canes have 2 good byes. They have a bye prior to the FSU game, as we mentioned. This is really odd. So Miami is off, then plays FSU, then is off again, and then plays Louisville.
I know that.
But you'd like to have byes before FSU and Louisville might be two of the toughest conference games they have.
But I don't know that I love that because A, you could get a little rusty, and B, there's probably another better time for that second bye. That's a little unusual. I don't know that I'd want it like that. I mean, again, you play one game in a 4-week stretch, you might not have your rhythm. So
here's why I don't necessarily mind it. This upcoming season, is because the first month and a half is pretty hard, man. Like they play Notre Dame, Florida State, and Louisville.
Yeah, good point.
That's basically their whole schedule.
I was surprised by this scheduling quirk as well, because obviously we got to talk about Bill Belichick in North Carolina. So Belichick takes on Clemson on October 4th, which is the same date as FSU Miami. Seems like you would have wanted to spread that out a little bit, because that's 2 really exciting games
well, we're
on the same
talking
day.
about the ACC here.
Yeah, but I was surprised by that. What's interesting is both North Carolina and Clemson have a bye prior to that contest. And again, North Carolina doesn't play FSU or Miami. I'm kind of starting to buy into Belichick may lead North Carolina to a 10-2 season.
I can't wait to
maybe the playoff.
Well, it is fabulously intriguing.
Yes.
Well, whether he's great, whether he's not, I mean, you'll see that North Carolina logo and that powder blue helmet and shirt more than almost anybody in college football.
I think they open against like TCU.
They do on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I was about to say that's going to be a national game.
I can tell you this: there have been more Colorado football highlights in the last 2 years than any year since they won the dang thing back in 1990 or whenever it was. All right. And I think North Carolina this year will be the same way.
Let's get into college basketball. Florida is in the mix for a 1 seed, so we will start keeping you updated on national results. Unranked Arizona upset number 3 Iowa State 86-75 in Tucson last night. The Cyclones remained 6th in the net, while Florida is 5th.
Is that the game Caleb Love hit the half-court shot to send it into overtime? We'll see. Again, with Florida, and we'll keep it. You're right. Keep an eye on the people that'll battle Florida for those high seeds. I like that. But Hays, I went back to Florida, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. You may have them coming up, but these next 4 games are so telling.
Without a doubt. And speaking of that, Tennessee is in action tonight against Kentucky in Knoxville at 7 o'clock. If you Gators want to get a little early scouting done before Saturday's game where Florida travels to Tennessee. Tennessee is 4th in the net rankings. Kentucky is 16th in the net. So a little bit of a desperate Wildcats club because they're 3-3 in the league. Kentucky, even with the first-year coach who they're really excited about, you don't want to get to 3-4.
If you're Florida and you play Tennessee Saturday at noon, what do you hope happens tonight?
I think you hope Kentucky beats them.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not a believer in, boy, you don't want them to get beat before your game because then they come in fiery mad. I'm with you. I go the other way. The more teams lose before they play you, the more they've lost some confidence, the more you gain confidence. So I'd rather the team lose before. A lot of people think the other. Oh, don't lose before you play us, then you'll be fired up. I go the other way. I'd rather the team lose before I play them.
Yeah, I think so. And again, Florida's in contention for the SEC title. Now, I think Auburn is going to end up winning it, but it's I think better for where Florida is to have Kentucky get the win over Tennessee. But we'll see how it goes. Should be a great game tonight. Let's get it to golf. Tiger Woods' team beats Rory McIlroy's team in TGL. It did pretty well ratings-wise. It averaged 864,000 viewers, a 27% jump from its previous week. I did not watch it, but it seemed like it went to overtime, and fans were excited about Tiger edging Rory.
I'll say this. I peeked at it. I didn't stick around. They might have something. If they keep getting these gigantic names, it's easy to watch. It's easy to televise. It's in an arena, so you can have fans. Hays, they may have something here. And ESPN has done a great job of making it a big deal. ESPN acts like it matters. Have you noticed that? Scott Van Pelt's doing the halftime, and they got Matt Berry doing the play-by-play. I mean,
it's on the bottom line, like in that right-hand corner, like all the time.
Yeah, they've made it seem like a real sport. They've made it seem like Tuesday night baseball. They really have, so give them credit, too.
Absolutely, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day. The Dukes of Hazzard debuted this week back in 1979. 7 seasons and 147 episodes. Daisy Duke. This is the legendary theme. Good Old Boys by Waylon Jennings, who was credited as the balladeer and narrated the show. The song reached #1 on the country charts and peaked at number 21 on the Billboard charts.
You know, as a young person in the 70s, Charlie's Angels were spectacular. Yeah. But Catherine Bach, Daisy Duke, she made the ballot, just so you know. Yeah. Back to wrap the program after this. Just a little bit more than the love of life.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Couple of the early prop bets for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, February 9th. The odds on the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, yes, is 20,000. No is minus 50,000. Team with the most first downs, Kansas City minus 110. Eagles minus 120. Passing props, most passing yards, Jalen Hurts plus 180, Patrick Mahomes minus 230, while A.J. Brown is the betting favorite to have the most receiving yards in the Super Bowl at plus 225, Travis Kelce plus 300, Xavier Worthy plus 500, Devontae Smith plus 550, and Dallas Goedert plus 600. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
New Year's resolutions. But let's be honest. By February, that gym membership is just a $50 a month guilt trip.
So why not take that cash and finally fix your leaky faucet, unclog that drain, or tune up your AC?
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses.
It's a resolution you'll actually keep.
Call Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
This is Hays Carlyon from my friend Holt at Harold & Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Why buy from Hodges Mazda at the Avenues? Because they strive to ensure a satisfying and comfortable car buying experience. And now they're giving back. Lauren Brooks here. Hodges Mazda wants to say thank you to all educators, first responders, and healthcare providers by offering a complimentary oil change and car wash. Simply call them today or schedule online at HodgesMazda.com. This is part of the Hodges Mazda difference. Come experience for yourself. HodgesMazda.com. Free oil change not to exceed $79.99. Excludes diesel vehicles. Expires January 31st, 2025. See dealer for complete details.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
4 years of dreams, dedication, and desires deliver us to this day. Catch Decision Day for college sports future stars next Wednesday. Opened by Baker Glass. No one treats you better on 1010XL.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Mike Dempsey here. All right, we're almost a month into the new year. How's that resolution to drop your first 20 to 25 pounds going? Didn't happen? Yeah, well, that's probably because you didn't call Awaken 180 weight loss. I did, and in just 4 weeks, I dropped 23 pounds and was at my goal. But here's the crazy part. It didn't stop there. It was so easy. I kept going. Did it another week. Next thing I know, I'm down 27 pounds. That's right, 27. You know what's wild? I can still see my abs again. I'm not ripped. I don't have a six-pack, but I didn't even think I had those anymore before Awaken 180. It's amazing when you see the results. Feel the results. You just want to keep pushing forward. That's what makes Awaken 180 so different. It's not some medication quick fix where the weight comes off and comes back. It's real results that you can see and feel. Fast results and lasting results. Results that make you want to keep going. To reach a goal you never thought possible. Want the same for you? Then do it. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com today.
The Florida Forum welcomes best-selling author and journalist Carl Hyacin, February 12th. Funds raised to go to a Kids Care Mobile ICU, a neonatal and pediatric critical care transport vehicle. Kids Care vehicles and helicopters safely transport more than 2,200 infants and children a year to Wilson Children's Hospital. Get your tickets at thefloridaforum.com or call 202-2886. 202-2886.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window
World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
When
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, where have we been in the program today? We had a Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week stop by, Ben Krause from Paxton. He's terrific, 6'8", a really good basketball player. And hey, they're going to try and win their district for the 4th straight year. And so good to see a basketball player and terrific one. Ben Krause from Paxton, he stopped by. We talked about the Jags. Not just about Liam Coen, but about the other teams in the league, Hays, that have hired new coaches and how those coaches will do. We talked about the broadcast team of Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt and how it matches up with the other primary ones, and I think they do pretty well. We talked college basketball about the Gators and what they've got to do in this next tough 4-game stretch, and a little bit about JU and UNF. JU, boy, really playing well as well, and that is where we have been over the course of the program. And, JJ, I got to take
10-10 Take.
The 10-10 Take is sponsored by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com. I've learned this about Liam Coen. He's a really smart guy. We knew he was a good play caller. We knew he was a good football guy. But I can tell just talking to him, he's really bright. He's got a plan. He's got a vision of how he's going to build this thing. That vision includes his staff. And I can't wait to see what he builds. I was really excited about him. I told you guys this from day one, that he might have been my top guy on the list, certainly right there with Ben Johnson. I'm even more impressed and more excited now. Can't wait to see Liam Coen work, and that is the 10-10 Take. Can't wait to see him again on Thursday.
Yeah, I agree. You also said something during headlines that I think we should expound upon, because I agree with you. The other takeaway I had yesterday, Christian Kirk is going to be on this team. And the reason I say that is, Liam Coen said, in terms of incorporating Trevor into the process, he said, Trevor has earned that right to be part of this process in terms of how we form the team. Now, you can debate that. I don't know that Trevor has really earned that. But I have no problem with Liam Coen doing that, because obviously I think you need to have a strong partnership. But what it tells me about Christian Kirk coming back is Trevor Lawrence is going to look at it as a betrayal. And if you're Liam Coen, you just can't do that so early in the partnership. So, yes, I get it. Christian Kirk has a really high cap number. I don't know whether they'll restructure it. Maybe they'll ask him to take a pay cut, which I don't think he will. But maybe they're able to find some relief through a restructure of the deal or come up with a new deal. But regardless, even if they can't or don't want to push money into the future, I don't think, after hearing Liam Coen yesterday, that they are going to release Christian Kirk. I don't think they should anyway.
Your point being that he's really connected with Trevor. He's his best friend.
Right.
All that.
Yes. And I think Trevor really does have a lot of faith in him on the field. So I think the connection, the friendship that they have, plus the faith Trevor Lawrence has in Christian Kirk, I think Christian Kirk is on the team.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that he and Ingram should be on the team. One of the big, and I understand there's a salary cap.
Yeah.
I get it.
I would keep Ingram as well.
And I understand there's a salary cap, and I understand the cap is real. But I think so many teams are so fearful of cap hell and so fearful of getting in that abyss that you can't get out of from a cap standpoint. I understand that. But you get rid of too many good players. The Jaguars, I've been saying this, don't have enough good players to run off good ones. The theory on cap casualties is you get rid of a guy and then you save a bunch of money by getting a young guy to play the same position. Well, he may not be nearly as good. You win football games with good players. Well, don't get rid of your best players.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is they've got enough cap space. I mean, this free agency crop is awful. So it's not like it's going to be a banner year and, boy, clear the decks because we want to go sign 2 or 3 mammoth deals. That's not going to exist in this market. So with the cap space that they have, I don't think they really need to create space by getting rid of Kirk or Ingram. So if I was them, again, this goes back to Liam Coen saying this isn't a 4-win team. which I think they're more. I think his point is we're more talented than that, and I would agree. I think they are. So anyway, just some other takeaways that we had from yesterday. But when you mentioned that about Christian Kirk, I wanted to jump in it really quick. But yeah, I think really good chance Christian Kirk is back with the Jaguars this season.
Yeah, again, the off season in the NFL is so much fun because there's so much that happens. It's even more active when you hire a new coach and a new GM. So there's a new start and a fresh start for who the Jaguars are. That's first. In addition to that, there's player procurement, free agency, and you gotta like where it is, Hays, because no matter, even if you're the most negative fan in the world, you can't deny that there are some good pieces at premium spots. Trevor Lawrence might be really good. You've got 2 offensive tackles that look like decent NFL offensive tackles. You've got a young rookie receiver about to start his second year who might be a superstar. You've got a cover corner in Tyson Campbell. I don't know if he's a star, but he's a good player. You've got 2 rush ends that if they get any help at all in the interior are pretty good sack guys. They've both had double-digit sack seasons of late. So, yeah, there's some pieces there. You got a brand new coach who, by all accounts, is a wonderful play caller and wonderful developer of offensive talent. You're going to bring in a defensive coordinator that I would think's acclaimed. You're certainly talking to a lot of them. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited about. And so we'll see. One more time, I do want to remind you, on Thursday from 6 to 8, go down to the stadium. You get to meet Liam. There's going to be a panel discussion. Tony Baselli will be part of that. It's from 6 to 8. We'll be doing our show live down there from 4 to 6. We're certainly looking forward to that. So a lot of fun things coming up this weekend. Let's say hello to Rick Below.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Rick, you're big into cap and whatnot. What do you think? Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, some of the veteran guys that are really good players but have cap numbers. Where do you see all that?
I think Ingram stays. I know it's a little bit of a risk because he was injured, but I think they're going to move on from Kirk. I know he was there yesterday. Yeah, I do. I think if Bulky stayed, he stays.
Yeah.
If you remember, the 2 biggest contracts last year were Christian Kirk and Cam Robinson. I spent the entire offseason saying, look for a restructured deal on both. Neither happened. So Bulky was willing to pay it, and Jacksonville has the funds to do it. I just think if you look at Kirk, he's a slot wide receiver, and he's missed games now over the last couple of years. It is a drop-off with Parker Washington, but they have to address the number 2 wide receiver. They have to go out and get a guy either in free agency where there's a lot of available guys, or use that draft capital in the first and second round and get a wide receiver. So I know Christian Kirk means a lot to people here, and I know it's also a big dead cap hit, but slightest percentage, maybe 51 to 49, I think they move on.
Interesting. I think he stays. It'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, what's coming up tonight? What are we doing?
We got a lot. I'm going to identify right out of the gate tonight what I think is the most important move next for the Jaguars, and it may be one that surprises some of our listeners, but I honestly feel this way, and I'm going to start right on it. And then Aaron Beasley at 6:25, and we got a couple of other things we're going to throw out there in the second hour. So really looking forward to tonight's show.
Rick Ballou goes into the night. Lots of Jaguar talk and a whole lot more, as always, on his program. That'll do it. Don't go anywhere, though. Rick's next. We're out of here. Tomorrow, live from JU and Gulf Coast tomorrow. That's a terrific basketball game. Comes up at 7 o'clock. We'll be previewing it for you live from the River House. Now it's called, Cantina.
El Cantina? I can't remember.
El Cantina something.
Cantina del Rio? I can't remember.
Cantina Rio? We'll be there.
Sure, but we will be.
We're going to be there.
River House.
We'll be there. The old River House, and we're going to have a big time. Come see us right here. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.